I could bring you in warm, or I could bring you in cold.
Hello there.
I am the king.
What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are deep diving Mandalorian Season 3, Episode Dos. I'm going to bring on my co-host, and we're going to get this thing started. Mr. Ryan Milky, how are you doing today, sir?
Cool. Awesome. I like what you did there. Deep dive. Mando went for a little deep dive.
Yeah, Pedro actually stopped by. Did you see him light up a lightsaber for you guys? The dark saber? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought he was struggling to carry it. He looked like he was really struggling with it. So yeah, I thought it was Din.
It's a little heavy. So these legs
that wasn't accurate. Quick says that wasn't accurate. He can't hold the saber that high.
True story. Now, you guys didn't see. I was underneath him. I had to help him hold it up a little bit. So,
so Din's a puppet.
Yes, that's right.
Oh.
And Grogu stopped by, but he was in their room eating all the eggs. So I don't know. Whatever, you know. What's going on? Chat. Let me get a couple of things set up here since I just had to kick him out of here. So I'm like, dude, I got it live. All right, here we go. Boom. All right, what's up, chat? What's going on? So, did you like this episode, bro?
Baby eyes, everybody in the chat, dude. I love this episode. It was great. They clickbaited me in the trailer. I was expecting Coruscant, and I didn't get it, and I was annoyed.
What was that about? What's up, Charles?
I read online that people said, "Who said it was ever Coruscant?" Maybe it was just the Bantu Eve thing. I was like, no, that was definitely Coruscant. They showed at the end of the clip.
Yeah. I was late because obviously I had Pedro here. I mean, I can't just rush that dude. So, you know. Oh, they're all comments about being late. And Blaze isn't even in the chat. What's up, Snugster?
Hey, Snug.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the then I think this is what I did last week, right? Didn't we go through kind of the episode?
Pretty much. Instead
of having So I'm gonna pull that up. So yeah, you know, it's funny. The first time I watched it, so I watched it last night, and I guess my big complaint with this series is I don't understand why these episodes are so short. They're so short, and I just feel like so the episode was what, like 40 minutes? I think this one was. So why?
Yeah, it said 45, but we have the end scenes, right, don't we? So yeah, about 40 minutes.
Yeah, and you know, okay, fine, 45 minutes, whatever. But like, go like an hour and 10, make it 70 minutes, and let's complete this arc so we have a whole nother episode. Because now we already know what's going to happen next week. They're going to beat the creature. He either is or isn't going to atone for his sins, and yeah, I mean, so we already know kind of what's going to be happening, and I just feel like, I mean, unless there's a big twist, you know. And
I disagree. I don't think we're going to see the creature again for a while.
You don't think they're going to fight the creature?
No.
I felt like they left it off like where, really?
Huh. But the creature will be used like the Rancor was used with, what's his face? Boba.
Huh. Interesting.
I think Baby Yoda. I genuinely think this, but I think Baby Yoda will use the same Force ability that Anakin used in Episode 2 when he tamed the beasts in the battle area. Remember when he tamed the beast and he calmed it down? I think that Yoda's gonna Baby Yoda Grogu's gonna do the same thing, and he's gonna ride into town on the bloody mythosaur. Like, that's the badass moment that we're waiting for.
Wow, I couldn't agree with you. I couldn't disagree with you more. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think, wow. So see, this is why we do these lives, because I'm thinking a totally different storyline than that.
And he has proof now. He goes back to the armor and says, "I went down there." Well, he's probably going to go back with Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan's going to explain to him to the armorer that the beast was down there. And then I think that's her proof because she knows what is down there.
Huh.
Personally,
wow.
I don't think we'll see that for a while. I think the mythosaur at the end will be a plot device for the holy crap moment that we had with Boba on her ankle.
See, I just feel like he's there for a reason. So I feel like, how is he going? Okay, so I'm still kind of on record saying that I don't think he's going to do the atonement thing. I really don't think he's going to do that. But
he's just done it. He just bathed in the waters. He's done it.
Okay, that's all he had to do.
Yeah,
but he didn't really.
He had to bathe in the waters.
See, I felt like the mythosaur stopped them from completing it. That's why I felt like there was a cut there, because I don't think he did. Like, I felt like that's okay. So
you're under the assumption he got pulled under. I'm under the assumption he just fell.
I thought he got pulled under for sure.
See, okay. Crazy. I just assumed that the steps ran out and he just fell straight down. And because he's got his armor and all that, he's heavy, and he just went straight to the bottom.
Real quick, while I've got that on the screen, did you notice they took out Kylo Ren's helmet?
I didn't know.
Here,
I usually skip forward all this stuff.
Oh, you do? Yeah. Usually they have Kylo Ren, his helmet there, and it's not there anymore.
Could that be a sign of rebuilding Mandalore? Says Baby Ice.
See that? They had Bo-Katan. They have Scout Trooper, Armorer. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They don't even have Kylo anymore. But
Quick Draw says there's no way Den is going to fight the creature. He could barely take on cavemen.
Wow.
Robbie. Dude, we're completely opposite on this, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
I really think. Okay, so I have two ways this could go. I think that either, if he does do the atonement, which I still don't think he did, I think he got pulled under, and I don't. That's why I think they did this, because they wanted people to make you think that it wasn't complete. Because number one, how is he going to prove this? It's, like we joked last week
with a vial, with a vial, because we see in the previous episode she uses some sort of liquid in a vial and she pours it in as she makes that new helmet. So he's going to have a vial of liquid that he's going to give.
Okay,
to
but we haven't
showed us that.
Okay, he showed it to us.
No, they showed us the armorer using a vial of liquid. So that was already the visual aid that we needed to know that that's how he's going to do it.
See, I thought
he'll just take some water back from there in a vial.
I thought he was going to kill the mythosaur and take one of the horns back as proof, if he does actually get atoned.
But isn't the prophecy the person that rides the mythosaur becomes the new king of Mandalore? Why would you kill it if you were able to become king with it? If anything, Bo-Katan might want to try and ride it and become final king of Mandalore. You know,
I'm skipping to the end because now I want to see it.
Because technically Din didn't even see it. He was knocked out and brought up by Bo-Katan. She saw it.
All right. I hope we don't get in trouble. But I'm gonna play that whole scene, and as soon as these ads catch up.
I think he got pulled under, said Baby Ice. Okay.
Yeah, so do I. I definitely do.
No, I don't. I just think he fell.
What does the rest of the chat think? I mean, I know. So Quick thinks he can't fight him, but do you think he got pulled under? And Robbie, what do you think? And thanks for coming in, bro. Snunkster, what do you guys think? Do you think he got pulled under or not? See, this is when I wish I could do polls. I don't know how many subs you need to get polls, but this is when I would love to have a poll, the option to do that.
If you think he got pulled under, put 1 in the chat. If you think he fell, put 2 in the chat.
I'm just curious to see what people are thinking on this.
Looks like he was pulled. Looked like he was pulled. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I personally just think he fell. Everyone's against me. Okay.
Okay, so I'm like right at that spot. Now I don't.
Poppin thinks he was pulled too. Wow.
All right, so I don't know. I hope I don't get copyrighted and shut down. But I'm gonna try to play this because I want to hear what he said.
You can play with sound. Okay.
I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna try to get it right at the right spot, so I don't want to play more than like 15 seconds. So he's going. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up in a second. I'm just getting it set up.
No worries. If he was falling, I would like to think that he would have thrown his arms out.
All right, so let's try this with the sound. If something happens, we'll be back. Because I don't know how this works, this whole YouTube thing. All right, so
I don't think that pulled him down.
So are we thinking maybe the beast then created that huge? Because like I get like where did that? Because it does look like maybe he crashed to the bottom and just made it. I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell.
Isn't Beskar heavy? That's what I said. ACL.
Yeah, I mean, if he's, I'm gonna do it again without the sound because I just don't want to get hit. I see what you're saying.
Baby Ice, we will talk about R5. Don't worry about it. We will get there.
Good idea. Do you want it in Chinese? Which one would you like it in?
English, please. Oh, but for me, he says what he says and then falls in my eyes. But if he fell, why wouldn't he not use Rising Phoenix like Bo-Katan did?
Right, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, if he falls straight in, why wouldn't he just use it? What is the? I'm gonna look this up. What is the full?
Or maybe that is this thing that happens with the atonement. You step in, you say those words, and you fall down, and then you've got to be risen back up with new life, forgiven life. I don't know. I just know that you all talk about, you spoke last week how this could be like a religious kind of thing, and baptism, all that kind of stuff. Fully submerge in water, come back out again. It's a bit weird. But yeah, I'm super. I don't know. For me, Beskar is super heavy, and I just can't see the Mythosaur pulling him down like that. Because then it gets revealed on the way back up, not on the way down, which is weird. I think it was just woken up.
What would that be called? The full Mandalorian what? No, it's not the Creed, is it? It'd be like the. See, I'm typing that in. I'm not like getting much though.
It's
a code of honor, is what it is.
Okay.
So it says, strength is life, for the strong have the right to rule. Honor is life, for with no honor, one may as well be dead. Death is life, one should die as they have lived. That's all it says.
That doesn't match the words that he said.
That doesn't match it?
No, he was talking about Mandalorian ancestors and something else, and then he just went in.
Strength. Go back. See what he says exactly. Maybe I can just type this in right away. Like just type in the Creed.
Okay, Robbie says we saw in episode 1 that the Creed is longer than what he said.
See, that's what I thought.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
Let's see. What's it doing here? Come on.
His minds date back to the earlier. That's when she was talking about.
Yeah, it's because I've been going back. All right, you guys can see that, right? And I know it's a little small, but it does.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors that I shall walk the way of the Mandalore, and the words of the creed shall forever be forged in my heart. This is the way.
So he never.
And that's all. Like literally, all he has to say is, "This is the way."
And he didn't say it.
Okay,
All right.
if that's what if you want to, if that's
So
what
I don't
you
know.
wanna
I mean,
do.
it's interesting though. I mean, what they cut him off right there. I don't know. I mean, as far as him getting dragged, I'm a little more. I see what you're saying now. It makes more sense because it looks like, and even when she dives in, there's
no more
nothing there.
steps. There's
So
no
the only
steps
thing I
for
can
him.
think
Yeah.
of is that the mythosaur came from underneath and maybe took out the bottom of the what is it called, the pond or whatever, the lake. What is it, the lake? I don't even know. But
Yeah, no, Robbie, I agree too. I think he's redeemed. I think he's been in the water. I think he's done it.
you think he's
That's all. But I think all he had to do was go in the water. I don't think he had to say some mambo bambo creed stuff. I just think he needed to just be in the water. But then, even in the same episode, we'll go back a little bit. He refuses to take the helmet off. He drinks the soup through his helmet. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
So he's sticking to that way.
Yeah.
I'm team no face this season. I don't want to see his face this season.
I don't know. I mean, now it's kind of interesting because now after being mad that they didn't show more, it gets us to have a pretty good conversation. It makes it interesting because I just thought it was a really super strange way for the episode to end.
It was perfect. Absolute perfect. I knew as soon as we came out the water, that was it, done.
It looked weird. Like, I'm like, wait, is it over now? Like, it just ended? I'm gonna try to go back.
I even like the beginning bit. Like, go back to the beginning and talk a little bit about that. They literally tied everything up in a nice little bow, and then they gave us the intro credit. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't take 20 minutes going around Mos Eisley,
Thank God, because I can't, that was her name, Petty Moto or some dude. I can't stand that character.
Do you not like her?
I'm not a fan. I'm really not. Dude, she reminds me of a mix of like between Jar Jar and
but eye face. What's her name?
but guys, Maz Kanata.
Yeah, Maz Kanata. Yeah, her eyes are like balls.
Dude, it's just so over. She's so over the top.
But yeah, we've got so much to talk about in this episode. So I know that, like I say, we went a bit.
Yeah, we did.
That's a bit skew-iff right to the end, but that was the big key moment that I think was on his mind. So.
All right, so yeah, we go to Tatooine, and I do like how they show her, basically,
scamming,
just scamming the heck out of with this what do they call
Greedo guy.
Rodian.
Yeah,
Rodian, and obviously same class as Greedo, and I do love that. And then she's like, okay, Jawa, let's go get the pieces, let's go fix it. That's great, dude.
Great draw. I love that. She reminds me of Funko sellers on Whatnot.
That's funny.
Bang on.
So he's looking for that piece he needs for IG, and
gets told that you're not going to get that because it's ancient.
Yeah, but I guess she's still working on it, apparently, right?
But she sells in this.
Yeah, and then we get our old friend R5. So I dug a little deeper on this one today because I wanted to make sure that this was the correct, like this is the same droid.
It is.
Everything I find, it is.
It has the same oil leak at the back of his head.
Yeah.
From when he broke down on the way in the first episode. Because I even did some research and there was apparently a comic about this guy, that he's a Jedi. Apparently there's a canon somewhere that R5 is a secret Jedi and he broke down on purpose so that R2 could go with Luke.
No.
Something like that.
No, he's not a Jedi. He's
No, I know he's not, but I think maybe it was a canon storyline or a non-canon story.
It was in one of those books. I think I may have mentioned this last week. It's in one of those. It's in the book From a Certain Point of View, which technically is not canon anymore. But there's like a little story. I think it's called the Red One. And basically what happens is that when Luke Skywalker Owen actually picks out R5 and C-3PO, R2, when he starts beeping, he's telling R5, I have a really, really important mission. And remember, they have seen each other before because R5 is in the prequels.
Okay.
I think it's Attack of the Clones. He makes a little short little cameo, or actually maybe it is Phantom Menace. I think he's on Tatooine. But anyways, so he's telling him that he has this really important mission, and he's got to deliver this message and get back up to space. So R5 lets him go, and that's when he blows his what is it? The I can't remember what is it?
Motivator or something. Motivator.
Yeah, it's motivator. Yeah, so then that's what allows R2D2 to go. But yeah, that's kind of like the little. Again, I don't think it's technically canon. But
Yeah.
It's still a neat little story though.
Yeah, but yeah. So are you on the same spaceship as me? That this is the same unit. This is
R5. I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
And what's the point? Honestly, like, what's the point of bringing the character back? I mean, and we'd already seen him in Mando season 2, and in Book of Boba Fett he was in there too, a small little cameo. Like, what's the point of bringing back the exact same looking droid if you're not going to say it's the same one? You know what I'm saying? So,
did you submit questions?
What'd you say?
Have we already answered her questions for her? She said when you guys do the questions, ignore mine. So maybe we've already answered her questions.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So you must ask a question about R5. Okay, yeah. So I do think so. So it's cool to see R5 come back in a little bit. Everyone always wondered what happened to that droid, and we haven't really seen him since. So, but I know, again, I know we saw a small little, we did see a small cameo of him back in the Book of Boba Fett on Tatooine. So, but yeah, so he takes R5 with him.
So can you go back a bit, because didn't we miss a really cool moment with Grogu when he jumps out the ship?
Oh, the flip, yeah. Let's see if I can get it.
Because this is what I was saying last week about people got really butthurt with Dave Filoni or whoever it was that came out and said that he'd been training with Luke for 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody in the community got absolutely butthurt.
It's an Attack of the Clones. Like, at least it looks cool. Like, it's so like, I don't know.
And it's cool to think that it's still a puppet.
I know.
In his mouth, and another person that moves his head and his ears.
And David Accord is the one who kind of does all the sounds.
Okay.
I met him. I met him about 6 months ago. Or was that? Okay. Gosh, that might be a year and a half ago, actually. That one. Yeah, because I didn't have the Diamond Grogu yet. So yeah, so it must have been a year and a half ago. Yeah, he was telling me some pretty cool stories about how they do it. It's really neat. How they bring him to life and stuff. And he did tell me, he's like just wait till you see what they have him do in season 2 or season 3. I mean, so, but
yeah, like riding a mythosaur.
That's a Funko Pop ride.
And if you go back to the live stream that I did last Monday, guys, I already called what was going to happen. I had a waterfall in my thumbnail, and I had a mythosaur. Just saying, I called what was going to happen in the episode before it happened.
So, what do you think about this? I'm trying to stop it right in the right spot here. Right there. Did they remove the bubble for Grogu? Like, I just built it. I just built the Lego. Now it's gone. I bought the Razor Crest. It was gone. Like, what the heck is going on here?
Well, it's just showing that it's a modification. Like, I'm sure when they get rid of R5, the bubble will be back. It's just like a sunroof.
Yeah, that's like a sunroof. Yeah, we break that bubble back. That was Grogu's bubble.
Yeah, like, why isn't R5 under a bubble? He'd be protected from being shot. All the droids get shot and they go, and that's it. They're dead. And it's like, put a bubble around his head. Maybe his antenna won't work, but I don't know. Put a bubble around his head. Like, imagine all the debris you'd get in your face going at warp speed without any protection.
And then here's Mando teaching him more about the navigation, which will come into play later.
Did it come into play later, though?
I think
I have a question about that. Did it? Okay.
Or do you think R5 is the one who flew him?
Yeah, I think R5 did it.
Yeah, it is right there. It tells him about how the map, how being able as a Mandalorian, how reading a map is so important. I don't know. I think that was like a little. I don't know, man. I think Grogu flew, dude.
Okay.
And there's that. there's that rain that we saw in the trailer when he comes up and talks to Bo-Katan. Or actually, yeah, he goes talks to Bo-Katan somewhere. Oh no, actually, it's funny. Mando doesn't even talk to Bo-Katan.
No.
Yeah, in the trailer, that scene we saw with Mando was talking to her with the wet helmet. That was actually from episode 1. Like, what is that about, dude? Like,
Oh.
they're throwing like in the trailer for episode 2, we saw Coruscant, never got it. And then we saw Mando with the wet helmet talking to Bo-Katan, and that happened in episode 1. And they're just blending these things together, What's up, Johnny?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of strange that some of the decisions.
So I was basically right with my idea that he wanted to send the robot in first because he wasn't sure if the surface was breathable, but obviously I thought it was going to be IG-11, but it wasn't.
Yep. And I love how
they teased so much in this episode that Grogu was going to speak. Like, I'm probably on board with you now that he's probably going to speak this season.
Yeah.
Because this episode was heavy that he was almost going to speak.
Yeah, he's definitely making more noises. I'm trying to find the one scene where Grogu is like super concerned about the droid. It was so cute. It's so hard to like. And he's a little bit there, but yeah, because when R5 disappears around the corner, he's like super concerned about where the droid went. I like that. That was cute.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so then so Mando. Then
there you go. Perfect.
So there you go. Yeah, there it is. Look at those ears, dude.
You just want to go give him a cuddle, don't you?
I do. Come here, Grogu. I want a Grogu.
I'm going to tell your dogs.
Yeah, Grogu could be with the dogs. You know what we need, dude? We need a Gizmo and Grogu mashup show.
Gizmo and Grogu fight.
Who wins in a fight? Gizmo?
I just chuck water on Gizmo. He's going to win then.
What'd you say?
I'd chuck water on Gizmo after midnight. He's going to win then.
Bunch of little gizmos. So we get then Mando goes around the corner. He makes sure he can breathe, and he can. So that does mean that Bo-Katan was right and the armor was incorrect, because armor always said that. I didn't want to skip anymore. There we go. I have an ad. That's why I'll bring it down for a second. Because armor always said that she thought all the gases and stuff, you couldn't go and live there. So we find out that that's actually not true, and Bo-Katan was actually right. So, I know we haven't got there yet. We're about to, but like when they fly after they fight the beasts or whatever, and they fly down. That's actually so when they kind of get down to that landing, that's where the big Ahsoka and Darth Maul battle is in season 7. That's where part of it is.
Season 7
Clone Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of a neat little Easter egg there too.
I'm looking forward to that, but that's going to be coming soon.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, a couple more seconds on this ad.
No worries.
And so we have Mando here, and eventually we find a General Grievous type spider guy.
This was amazing.
You like this dude, huh? Oh, wait,
dude, this made me jump.
Oh, he's already captured him at this point, but yeah, dude, that thing was pretty cool, and it definitely reminded me of Grievous a little bit because, the way we saw later in the episode when Bo-Katan comes down, the dude's like jumping into different bodies, so it's like just like a little, I don't even know what you would call it. You know what it kind of reminded me? It reminded me of the little creature kind of from New Hope in the garbage compactor. That grabs Luke. Kind of reminded me of that a little bit. But you could tell it was CGI. This you could tell that was.
I think CGI. It was more to refer like it was like a cockroach. Like the whole world can be destroyed and cockroaches to survive, and this little organism thing can connect itself to all these mechanical parts, and it can do what it was really, really cool. Like Robbie messaged me in my DMs and said it looks like a Dalek's eye.
A Dalek. I'm trying to think what that is.
From Doctor Who, dude.
Exterminate.
Exterminate. It's got the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very similar. And it actually looked very, very alike. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool the way they did it.
Freaked me out. Absolutely freaked me out. I was like, what was he doing? So
yeah, so he takes Mando, and then we see him like kind of like taking fluids or something.
was he taking his blood or urine or what was
I
he
don't
doing? Like just
know.
putting
I
a
mean,
colostomy bag on every prisoner and just for jokes?
I mean, it's hard to see in that picture. It's so dark, but I know that there is one scene where you kind of see him with the tubes before Grogu leaves. I mean, you can kind of see it there a little bit, but so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's just the way that he feeds or maybe I don't know, but it looks like he's taking something from him.
Yeah, and just pause the Mando review. Why? I don't mean on the TV. I just mean in my talk because I'm going to go off topic.
Okay.
But do you not see the similarity with the child protecting Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
That we literally just did in the last of Us. Like, yeah, I'm expecting what's her name to take off a Mandalore helmet.
Yeah, it's interesting that we saw like episodes back to
literally
back,
last week he was draining with blood and needed saved by the child, and now we come to Mandalorian and he's being drained by blood and needs to be saved by the literal child.
That's it's a good point. It's kind of funny that they happen to be at the same time too in the show, you know. So basically,
resume the review.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, there's even a better picture, and there's some ton of tubes that he's locked in there, and we do see the creature. I don't know if we actually have a name for this creature yet. I didn't look that up or anything.
I doubt it.
But yeah, we do see him throw his pistol on the ground, and we also see the Darksaber come on the ground. So Grogu decides, or actually Mando says, doesn't Mando say go get Bo-Katan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's interesting. Like through all of this, like where's Boba Fett at? Like I know. I think we need
a 2-episode push for Boba in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Boba's coming. But we see him kind of go back up, and then here's the scene: Bo-Katan and then you know what this droid is from, right? You know who that guy is? You know who that is?
Yeah, IG. I don't know.
It's kind of I don't know if it's meant to be one of the medical droids that kind of heals up.
Oh, yeah, heals.
Kind of like it kind of looks like him, but you know what? Also, it kind of looks like K2SO a little bit to a point.
Is that the annoying one with the female, the feminist personality?
No, that's the one from Rogue One.
Oh, okay,
but yeah,
I get what you're saying with the medical one that looks like the medical.
Yeah, but it does look like the medical droid. So I like this scene because Bo-Katan goes out and she's like, "I'm gonna get rid of Mando for good." And is it still loading on that screen? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so we get to see again just another great scene. Grogu kills it in this episode, and you kind of see Grogu kind of like put his little hand over, and he's like the one flying. And you can tell she's like impressed. You know, she's like, "Oh, where's Mando?" Yeah, it's not really loading right now, so I'll take it down until I can get that working. But yeah, so Bo-Katan kind of agrees to go with them. And I do, like I said, I do like the fact that we are definitely seeing the growth of Grogu, because number one, he's just more interactive with other characters at this point instead of just. I mean, he's still funny and cute, but he's at least more interactive with the other characters. Where it seemed like the first couple seasons, he really was just interactive mostly with like Mando and then that probably Moto on Tatooine for the most part. So it's cool to kind of get that relationship with our characters, and he's not even saying a word, which is, again, that's just that's just a big shout out again to John and Dave. So
well, yeah, today I watched Hot Ones with Pedro Pascal. They dropped it I don't know if anyone watches that show, but I quite enjoy it. And he said in that he gets praise for how well he works with puppets, but he said, dude, that puppet makes me cry on set. With it, I walk away to go because they'll call action for the day, or they'll call end scene for the day, and then the puppet will start making noises, and like when he's going to the bathroom or something, and it'll be like, and he doesn't want him to leave. And he said something about how he upstaged him in the Luke scene because he was like, dude, this is the one time I don't have my helmet on. Let me have time to shine.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's really cool how a puppet can make obviously real raw emotions. I agree. He's definitely going to talk. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think he is.
Look at this, dude. Thank you. Hey, I love it.
Yeah. So and again, you can kind of see down over here. You can see it where the grass used to be. You can see it's full of gas.
So this place here with all the ruins, that's the big bubble thing that got blew up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, wait. What'd you say? The big what?
The big bubble city.
Yeah.
There was a big city in a bubble.
Yeah, and that's where they're going. Okay. Yeah. That was like the main city on Mandalore.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, it used to be all green and stuff. Like in Clone Wars, I don't know if they have a full shot because I know I tried looking it up the other day. I don't know if I think we were backstage. And I was trying to find you some pictures of it, and I really couldn't find anything good from the Clone Wars. So I don't know how much of a shot they actually show of it. But yeah, it's supposed to be all green, and yeah. But this is like
I love it. Yeah.
The main hub or whatever you want to call it.
Did you notice in this scene as well? You could the added detail. The very front of their ship was shaking with the wind. I don't know if you could see it when you watched, but it was so good detail.
Right there. You can see
it
right there.
See it actually shaking.